Southern Colorado guy, and I think people liked my first video on mini trucks. One of the things that I mentioned was that they were very capable. I think a lot of folks with four-wheelers think that that's what they need to get through rough terrain, and I'm going to show you with street tires what these can do with relative ease. And I can mound the back of that bed up with firewood and get up these very same hills quite easily. So go on a venture with me. So I made a video about my little mini truck, and looks like some folks were interested in it. So I thought I'd show you how well these things do in rough terrain. I'm in two-wheel drive and usually don't even need to be in four-wheel drive. Some of these hills and trails are pretty steep around here. Got some cholla cactus there that I take down a little trail right. I mentioned before I bought this one from a guy named Bob in Michigan, and I think it's RSM and Associates in Michigan, southern Michigan. But like I said, they sell these all over. I just had good dealings with Bob there, and think he's an honest man, and I got a pretty nice machine. So this is pretty steep here. Let's see if we can get it in two-wheel drive. Yep, no problem. Parts are very reasonable on these. If you need a new distributor cap or plug wires or even a rebuild kit, it's not outrageous. And there's a couple of big vendors in the country that sell those parts. So other than that squeak on the side, which I think is my I think that's my bed side. These are very quiet inside. You know, side by side they're so noisy and loud, and these are just quiet. You've got a nice heater, and as I mentioned, most of them have air conditioning. This one doesn't, but they even have a complete stainless steel exhaust system. I believe they all do. So yeah, here's a little waterway I built to let the water across, but be able to still get across here. And it's a little steep, but we can get across it here if we're careful. tire silts up, I'll take the dirt out with a bucket on the tractor and fill it in some of these low spots in hopes of kind of leveling out this field more over time. Whenever I cut firewood, I make these little wood piles here like this. Seems to be a great way to do it out here out west. Wood doesn't rot like it did back east where I came from. There's no mold and mildew, and that little pile of wood will sit there for 20 years and still be burnable, which is something I really enjoy out here. Footpaths initially for four-wheelers, and I've had to widen them up a little bit as I can get the Jeep and the tractor with a cab on it down here now, and so kind of pretty out here. Take a walk. This little trail here is a little over a mile, and it's tight, but I can get through it. As you can see, the turn's pretty sharp here, but yeah, these turn sharper than a four-wheeler, believe it or not. I don't know, I think if I was considering buying a new side-by-side, it would depend on what I wanted it for. They get a lot of sales, and a lot of people have them, so there's a lot of pressure to go that way. If you want something with performance and power, these are definitely not the way to go. But if you want your typical side-by-side that you want to carry a lot in, like firewood, like myself, or whatever, and you want a nice, quiet, comfortable ride, I don't understand why anyone would buy a side-by-side instead of one of these. I've got just street tires on this, and I think you'll be impressed to see how well it does in four-wheel drive when we get up here. So, back down here at the creek, I don't need it to get up the other side, but we'll switch it down to four-wheel, and then four-wheel low, and let's just creep up this other side here. Turning brown, and leaves are falling off the scrub oak trees, but I enjoy the greenery out here year round. Pines and cedars, it's pretty nice. Yeah, as you can hopefully see from some of these camera shots, some of these hills really are steep. We're going to be going to the left here, but on the right side there, it's a good picture of how steep we're going to be going on the other side. That's the old trail that I used, and I decided to make it a little longer, so I came up here and decided to take another path here. So that's the path we're going to take. This is a pretty aggressive hill here. trucks are used all over the world, in the jungles and deserts, and I came across them in Afghanistan, and they'll put all kinds of little bells and whistles and pretties on them, and we would commonly call them jingle trucks, and they're pretty resilient, great mileage. So we're coming up on another hill here.